History is the most important way to understand the past, the present, and plan for the future. Lessons learned from pre-colonial trade, especially in Cameroon, can help to improve and boost inter-African trade via the African Continental Free Trade Area. Our journey for this huge experience began in Bimbia to Cheboa, Mankon, Douala, and Chang.
Cheboa vient de l'expression Fulbe, Chebore, qui signifie le marécage. Et s'agissant de la date de création, c'était en 1718. Sa Majesté Moussa Aboubakari, le lamido de Cheboa actuel, et le 13e lamido de Cheboa. Avant l'arrivée des Européens, c'est le lamido Atiku qui régnait au trône de Cheboa en ce moment.
Je ne vais pas aller trop loin dans l'histoire. On dit que les Douala sont venus du Congo. Bon, maintenant là, il faudrait, disons, aller vraiment dans les détails. Mais ici, à Douala, on n'appelait pas ici Douala, hein, on appelait ici Cameroun. Vous êtes à Cameroun. Dans l'histoire, vous aurez Cameroon River, Cameroon Town. On a débaptisé Douala, cette ville, en 1901, quand les Allemands ont pris tout le territoire, qu'ils appelaient donc Cameroun. Il fallait bien trouver un autre nom pour ici. Et c'est comme ça qu'en 1901, les Allemands ont dit, bon, ici, on va appeler ça Douala. Douala était et est resté la porte d'entrée et de sortie du Cameroun.
My great-grandfather, Makundu Boganya, took his family eastward and established a new settlement. The chiefdom of Dikolo was established in 1829. Bimbangwela was the king of Bimbia before the arrival of the Europeans.
The Mankon Fondom is as old as humanity, but the first established king of Mankon was Ndeumaga I, who established his kingdom in 1197, the year 1197. But before then, we have a history of migration from the Adamawa through the West region, through the Ndop Plain, the Momo regions, the Momo division before the present settlement.
Le groupement Fosso-Wanchien est créé à la faveur d'un immigré chasseur venant du Nord qui est arrivé à Fosso-Wanchien. Et le peuple Fosso-Wanchien était essentiellement agriculteur. Et ce chasseur est arrivé parce qu'il a loupé la succession de son père. Il s'est émigré vers Fosso-Wanchien, où il a trouvé beaucoup de gibier, puisqu'il faut vous rappeler que ce village longtemps était en forêt. Il s'appelait Sontia. C'est le chef Sontia. Quand on vous dit Fosso-Wanchien, c'est-à-dire Fossontia.
Trade was a very important economic activity in pre-colonial Cameroon. And Cameroon was a country, a territory at that time that had very many ethnic groups with diverse geographical and human settings. And these actually influenced the way these ethnic groups traded amongst themselves.
Vous ne pouvez pas faire sérieusement l'économie qui va nous permettre d'émerger si vous ne savez pas ce qui s'est passé. Comment est-ce que vous négligez dans la recherche scientifique, dans les enseignements, c'est-à-dire l'économie telle qu'elle fonctionnait pendant des siècles avant que le colonisateur n'arrive. Vous ne pouvez aller nulle part si vous ne savez pas d'où vous venez. Et en économie, c'est la même chose. Le colon, lui, il est venu ici avec des objectifs précis en économie.
Pre-colonial Cameroon, practiced long and short distance trades. And these trades, and that depended on the actors and items that were to be exchanged.
The Mankon people, what they had in exchange with their trade partners was salt, oil, kola nut with some food spices.
Le commerce et l'économie était axé sur les besoins des Camerounais. Il ne faut jamais oublier ça, avant la colonisation. Bon, bien sûr, on s'orientait aussi au niveau des besoins du marché international. Mais c'est nous qui maîtrisions notre commerce.
Nos ancêtres ont eu des rapports économiques avec le Nigeria, avec, je crois, le Gabon, tous avec les voisins.
In each kingdom and locality by the time, like in Cheboa, there were great traders and key players in the trade, such as Alhaji Goni Salari of Goni and Jauru Aji of Langi, who sold many hand-woven cloth. They obtained their supply from the Borno Kingdom in Nigeria.
Mi wara ɓe vaga kadi kala wuro fuu a tawan mawɗo attajiri en man ɗon kono a yi mi andana ceebuwa mi andana jalingo amma bana ha gure amin herton kam ɓeɗo on mini kamin andi her wakkere dengiɗo alaji goniɗo her wakkere langi bo jawro ajiɗo ba jemma lumo ɗo ko jemma lumo adubri ko jemma lumo pitowa en ɗo limseji bornoje limse kole en ɓaleji kurum ɗo ɓe wala tappugo feere ɓe yara lumo adubri feere ɓe yara lumo pitowa kanko on ni mawɗo maɓɓe kam.
Vous aviez le commerce international ici, le commerce international avec les Européens. D'abord, il y avait le commerce des esclaves, après le commerce des esclaves, vous aviez tout le commerce de l'huile de palme, d'ivoire, etc.
Donc, slave trade was even encouraged by the fact that there was already slavery in Africa. Slavery was already being practiced in Africa. That is what actually made it to work in Africa. That was also a form of trade that was practiced in the ancient period in Cameroon. When the Europeans came, they traded slaves in exchange of some of their items, like mirrors, alcohol, and all whatnot, in exchange for slaves.
Trade was reciprocal, based on certain product exchange and shared trading strategies. As the Cheboa traders traveled to Borno and Umafia in Nigeria for supply, they took oxen with them to these kingdoms to sell.
be tisiji goɗɗi ɗon wurtatata duwala ɗo Nigeria maran haje kamɓe ɓe hoosa ɓe yarana ɓe kadi yimɓe Nigeria man non ɓe foti ɓe umma daga Nigeria waɗa ɓe hoosa deydey ko ɓe mari haje haɗo ɓe yara banni ni en andi filoɓe ka jotta ɗuɗoɓe gotel ni on ɓeɗo botoro enen bo en ɗo botoroɓe woodi ko en hoosata haɗo en yaara ha nafa ɓe woodi ko en yata en hoosa ha maɓɓe en wadda wara nafa en.
Les meilleures routes étaient les routes de l'eau. C'est pour ça que pour aller à Bimbia, c'était pas difficile. Tandis que pour aller chez les Abos, c'était pas difficile. Il y avait 4 ports ici. Parce que chaque roi voulait être autonome, ne pas dépendre de l'autre. Alors que ce soit la marchandise qui vient de l'Europe pour aller à l'intérieur, ou la marchandise qui venait de l'intérieur pour aller de l'Europe, il fallait que ce soit contrôlé par un port. Donc, Bel, de l'autre côté, avait son port. Aqua avait son port. Daido avait son port. Et Lok Priso ici avait aussi son port. C'est comme ça. Ça a seulement été supprimé par les Allemands. C'est les Allemands qui ont unifié, qui ont fait que, bon, maintenant, il y avait que, à partir de la colonisation, il n'y avait plus qu'un seul port. Oui, le port de Douala.
It was quite a complicated market. We weren't used to paying taxes, but to get through, we had to pay custom. Very often, we got into the market by fraud because we had to get away from customs. Once inside the market, we sometimes had to hide to sell some of our product. Some exchange were done in secret to avoid being seized by custom.
The market in pre-colonial or in ancient Cameroon did not only symbolize an area where goods were exchanged, goods and services were exchanged. Other things were done in the market. The market had other, roles to play. Yeah, they were political, they were social, and all whatnot. Because in markets, They were intertribal markets because it could be a market that was in a particular community, but other communities came to attend those markets. And when they came, they met women from those communities, and they met, and then they got married to those women. You see how they got, market school or trade brought people together because they met their wives in markets.
They had to carry things on their heads, and only very rich families could have horses to move distances. It was not easy for a Manco man to interact with somebody, say, across a far distant place like where you now call Nigeria. The language of communication was a barrier.
Another challenge was that of transportation, the transportation difficulty. And it was a very serious one because it wasn't going to be easy for a trader leaving the Northwest or the Bermuda grassfield to trek to Yaoundé or trek to Nigeria with a heavy load, the quantity, you understand? So it made it difficult for them to carry on the trade, the transportation without, the quantity of goods that they carried were very minimal.
The medium of exchange was not there. We never really had a currency that people could really boast of. It was difficult to carry items to go far distant places to go and sell. So you could only carry what your strength could measure.
And then there was also the issue of fear and insecurity resulting from conflicts as raids and intertribal wars. These wars or conflicts made it so that it was difficult. People feared exchanging with one another.
The road network was very poor. Moving through the forest with the incident of wild animals, and so most often people left for trade and they were never seen again.
From the history of pre-colonial trade, many lessons have been learned as raw materials were transported from Cameroon to Europe for industrial production, the existence of many products used as currency for exchange, and many others.
What we realized here is that there was what we call specialization. Specialization in pre-colonial Cameroon. Communities specialized in particular products or items to exchange because all communities could not produce the same products or services and all whatnot. So the mechanism is that why come produce, for instance, iron, iron-oriented items. The others were agriculturally oriented. So it was now easy for them to exchange. What we are expecting is that there should be specialization, there should be a diversification of production. Africa should not only limit itself to producing raw materials and there should be this industrialization aspect that is being put in place. Cameroon will need to implement credible macroeconomic policies in order to attract, the private sector into the country. And because, the private sector is a very important actor in trade or development. Without the private sector, I don't think the state can, cope alone. So the state needs to actually work a lot to improve on the private sector in Cameroon by even looking for financing to finance the private sector, to simplify administrative procedures within the country and beyond our borders. For the South region, the Central African CEMAC, they should give priority to intra-African trade, right? Priority should be given to intra-African trade between them. That intra-African trade should be accompanied by diversification or specialization in the different products and goods that are being produced. It shouldn't only be raw materials, but also impact on industrial production. Africa should also be made in Cameroon, made in Africa. It is only in that way that Africa will be able to attract other buyers from beyond Africa.